His longest war is now over, so our last remaining troops took off from Kabul airport at 3:29 Eastern time, leaving the Taliban in control of Afghanistan.
News 12's Samantha Crawford has more on our frantic exit.
It's a day Americans will never forget. A day that set us on a path towards justice for the next 20 years.
And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
10 years later, they heard loud and clear.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
One of the first men to step foot in Afghanistan, Tuckahoe Sgt. Joshua Gaccione, reflecting on our speedy, chaotic exit.
We actually took over Kandahar Airport when we first went in there, so it's really emotional to see it being taken back in the way that it's taken back now.
He says the 4 federal administrations who led during the war failed the 2,400 service members who died, including the 13 murdered last week by an Al-Qaeda suicide bomber.
For not training the Afghan National Army to defend themselves, or for not recognizing the fact that they weren't up to the task. And again, it goes back to trying to instill our Western values, our American values on other cultures where it doesn't fit.
But Gaccione says troops should look back and be proud. They hunted down the terrorists who carried out 9/11 and left an indelible mark in the Middle East.
We also helped create a generation who knows what freedom and education look like. It will be that generation of Afghans who will rise up if there's any chance that a republic of sorts is in store for Afghanistan.
So Samantha, how worried is he about the rise of Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, and what's next for those Americans still in Afghanistan?
Sergeant Gaccione doesn't think either group can be trusted, but believes the United States is in a better and wiser place to make sure that an attack like 9/11 never happens again. As far as Americans still in Afghanistan, well, military officials say there are still a few hundred there and that they believe they will still be able to leave. Hearing them say believe and not definitely is just very, very scary. Ian, Gianna.
It is. Thank you, Samantha. Now, plenty of talk on social media about the U.S.'s withdrawal from Afghanistan, including this incredible photo that's going viral of the last American soldier leaving Afghanistan who actually does have ties to the Hudson Valley. Let's take a look. This is Major Chris Donahue. Donahue is a West Point graduate and commanding general of the 82nd Airborne Division. This photo was taken just moments before he boarded the last plane to leave Afghanistan, ending the U.S.'s mission in that country. Now, local leaders are also weighing in tonight on our departure, like Mondaire Jones, who says, "I was 14 when we entered the war in Afghanistan. If the last 20 years have taught us one thing, it's that endless war is never the answer. May we honor all those lives that were touched by this tragic conflict by recommitting to peace." And here's a look from Congressman Lee Zeldin over on Long Island. The United States just completed its withdrawal from Afghanistan, with many Americans still stuck behind enemy lines, desperate to get out, and $85 billion in U.S. weapons and equipment now in Taliban hands. This is a historic disgrace of epic proportions ordered by President Biden.